Hey guys, NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list updates. Today's date is Monday, July 26th, 2021. So this will have covered the week of July 19th through 25th, is that correct? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, yep. So that will have covered that week of July of 2021. This was a decent week, made some progress in a few different games, so we can go ahead and get started on what I made progress in this week, might as well, and we'll talk about other stuff a little bit later. So I got 2 platinums this week, and they were both visual novel games. We have Legends of Talia Arcadia and Autumn's Journey. These are both Ratalaika visual novel games. And this one especially is one of the fastest and easiest platinums in existence. Literally all you have to do is set the text speed to the max and set up like auto skip for everything and just let the game play. It takes about a minute. I mean, apparently some people have done it in like 31 seconds. I'm not really sure how they did it that fast. Or there's a few people on the list that have even done it faster than that. I probably shouldn't allow all of those trophy images on screen because it's sort of like Sekiro Succubus because it has really weird trophy images sometimes. But really, all you have to do is just set the thing to autoplay and you'll get your platinum in about a minute. It's insanely easy. It's one of those games that's ruining trophy hunting, yet I still did it anyway because every single high-level trophy hunter does it, so you don't really have much of a choice. At least I'm not stacking it 6 times because this game does have 6 stacks. It has a North American, European, and I believe Japanese, either Japanese or Asian. And with all of those, it has PS4 and PS5 versions. So yeah, you can get 6 platinums for pretty cheap in 6 minutes if you want to. Autumn's Journey is slightly more complicated. This one took me, it looks like 14 minutes to do, though that was more because for some reason my text wouldn't skip that quickly, like it was lagging a lot, so I assume that's just because of something with my PS4, and ironically this one has a more common platinum trophy despite the fact that it actually requires the most minimal amount of effort compared to the 0 effort of the other one. So with this one, you have to make backup saves at 2 different locations. You have to make one early in the game, and you have to make another one when you get to this sort of quest board where you can pick which quests you want to do. Now, with this game, you can also do the sort of auto-skipping text stuff if you want, which you should be if you're going for a quick, easy platinum. But you're going to have to reload that save right before the quest thing so you can do all 6 different quests in a shorter amount of time. I mean, technically you don't have to have saves there, but it'll cut down on your platinum time by a lot. You are going to need to be looking at a guide to get all these trophies just because there are some dialogue choices you have to make during this game. I'm not sure exactly which trophy corresponds to what, but there are a few dialogue choices that you do have to make, choosing between one of 2 options. So you're basically, your first playthrough, you're going to be making your couple of backup saves, and you're going to be making specific dialogue decisions. Then you're going to reload your save from before the quest board and pick the other 3 quests, and then finish out the game with the other dialogue option at the end. So that's going to get you almost all of your trophies, and then after that you have to finish the game a 3rd time from your first backup save, making a couple different choices as well. So it's very, very easy. Bad Driver has a good guide for it. I believe this game only has either 2 or 3 versions. It doesn't have a PS5 version. It's just a North American, European, and either Asian or Japanese version for the PS4, but I'm sure it will eventually get a PS5 version. So at the very least, this one requires the most minimal amount of effort, so it's not just an instant, guaranteed 100%. Next up, Fallout 76. I obtained the 100% with the Steel Rain DLC, so I actually already had this one done, and I got these 2 trophies this week, so I think that was on Monday and this one was Sunday. So this is actually a pretty easy DLC. There's not really a whole lot you have to do, as long as you've already finished the Steel Dawn quest line from 2020, which consists of around 9 or 10 missions. It's not really difficult, but it will add a little bit of time to your 100%ing. You have to finish that first, and then you can go in and do the Steel Rain DLC. So for Steel Rain, you have to finish the 5 story missions, which is going to take you probably like 3 to 5 hours, depending on your skill, if you're playing in co-op, if you're exploring and doing all the dialogue and stuff. So it doesn't take too long. Just finish the story missions. There's nothing really too difficult. Even the final boss fight's actually kind of easy on this one. Then you have to earn the Elder Reward from a daily op, And this one, despite being the most common of the 3 trophies, is probably the most difficult to do, at least if you're just playing solo. I highly recommend having at least one partner to do this, because the daily ops, it's not necessarily that the objectives are hard, it just kind of comes down to whatever mods are going on that day. Because each day the mods are going to be different and they will do different things. Like, some of them make the enemies way more aware of you, some of them give them weapons that penetrate all of your armor, so your armor is useless. Just some of them allow them to heal each other. So there's a bunch of different modifiers. There's only 2 different kinds of objectives. It's basically attack or defend certain locations and then wipe out like waves of enemies, and the enemy type depends a little bit on the day. It's really not difficult, but I highly recommend doing this one in co-op just because it's going to make your life a lot easier. You can do some of these solo, but probably not all of them unless you have a really overpowered character. So you may want to tackle these purely in co-op just to save yourself a little bit of time and headache. And for the Elder Reward specifically, you have to finish the daily op in 8 minutes or less, which isn't really a whole lot of time. So that's why, like I said, you want to have partners, because it's going to allow you to speed things up a lot. And you may also not be able to get it on a specific day, just depending on whatever the particular modifiers are that day. Now, I did this on either the 2nd or 3rd day I attempted it, so it didn't take long. And I know I did it in co-op, but I don't remember how many people were in the lobby. But it's still, I mean, it's not really that difficult. I mean, I'd still put this DLC at like a probably right around a 3 out of 10 in difficulty and 5 to 10 hours to complete. Then finally, you have to craft a 1-star, 2-star, and 3-star legendary mod. This is going to require you to have legendary modules, which are obtained by purchasing them with scrip from the purveyor down in the lower left area of the map at the sort of legendary weapons shop. So those are very easy to get. The legendary cores are a little bit less common. You can sometimes get them as Elder Rewards from a daily op, and they also have, I believe it's a 48% chance of dropping at least one from most of the public events in the game. And some of the events, such as killing the Scorchbeast Queen, give you a guaranteed number for a drop. So, might require just a little bit of grinding, but it's actually very easy. I'm shocked that that's the rarest trophy, because it was the first one I did, and it's probably the easiest of the 3 overall. Because you can just piggyback off of other people in the big daily events, or just the big events in general. Just piggyback off of them for either the Sheep Squatch boss inside of the mine, or whatever that thing was. I don't think it was the Sheep Squatch. You know what I'm talking about. The Wendigo Colossus, that's it. Either that or the Scorchbeast Queen or something like that. So I don't really feel the need to go through all the trophies in this game, because it's now been quite a while. But I guess I'll just briefly talk about them. So you have a bunch of trophies from the base game that are all story missions. Everything through here is. The camp stuff is all really easy. Mistress of Mystery, Personal Matters, Queen of the Hunt, Monster Mash. Those are all just various either daily events or side quests. Scorched Earth, of course, is the Scorchbeast Queen fight, which is technically one of the hardest trophies in the game, but nowadays people farm it so often and they're so overpowered that you're not going to have a problem getting this. You can just server hop until you find someone launching a nuke down there. That's another event. You have a multiplayer trophy. All the multiplayer trophies are easy and can be boosted. You have to craft armor and weapons. You have to level up a lot, which takes a very long time. I mean, I think I used like an exploit or something that allowed you to level up faster back in the day, but I only did that for a little bit of it before it got patched, and it's not hard, it just takes a lot of time. Read magazines, get caught inside of a nuclear blast, you have to fully rank up a perk, and they made a few changes to the perk system as well. Pick locks, hack terminals, mod weapons, a lot of simple stuff, complete some challenges, nothing difficult there. Like I said, the multiplayer stuff is all very easy and will probably come naturally if you're doing a lot of multiplayer playing already. And then just a lot of other miscellaneous trophies. Honestly, there's not really... Like I said, it's been a long time since I played this, so I don't remember a lot of it that well, but most of the trophies in this game are easy but time-consuming, so just keep that in mind. I will mention, though, for Wastelanders, you have the Revamp Tutorial and Talking to the Overseer are both very easy trophies. But these 2 trophies are mutually exclusive. They are the only missable trophies in the game, because you get one of them on one playthrough for finishing the mission with the Raiders, and the other one you get for finishing it with Foundation. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know why they thought that was a good idea to have mutually exclusive missable trophies. in a game that doesn't allow you to have backup saves the way that the other Fallout games are. It's not like with, Fallout 3, where if you wanted to make a different ending choice, you can just back up your save, or, you can just make a second save in another save slot. You have to finish up the stories for the two companions. I think they're adding in pets in the fall or winter update this year. You have to become allies, which takes an extremely long time and a lot of grinding of like daily operations and stuff to get up your reputation. It takes something like 50 to 70 days per faction, even though you can work on them both together. So it'll take like 50 to 70 days if you're doing all the daily quests each day. The gold bullion is very easy, as you can just trade it with yourself, like put it into the machine, take it back out, rinse and repeat until you get the 1500. So that's actually pretty easy. And then, like I said, we already talked about Steel Rain. So yeah, Fallout 76 is back to 100%. I know the game is probably going to get more DLC trophies. I don't think it's going to get any until 2022, however, because the rest of 2021, there's some fairly small update coming up next. And then there's a slightly larger update coming up in the winter. And like I said, they're adding a few new things, including some changes to private worlds as well as camp pets. But there's not really a whole lot of major changes coming up until the first expedition, which is in 2022, which is the one that's going to take us back to the pit. So presumably that's like a whole larger DLC, and I assume that that one's going to have trophies. But for now, we're back to 100%. I mean, I'm still surprised that Steel Rain got DLC trophies, given that Steel Dawn didn't, and it just doesn't really make a lot of sense. But honestly, it's just nice to have it back to 100%. Battlefield 4 is now on the list, but with no trophies. That's just because it has to be on the list for me to be able to make a session on PSN Profiles. Me and Ghost are going to be working on this over the next few weeks, and we have me, him, and he's got a second PS4, so the plan is that we only hopefully need to find one other person, which will speed things up, but if we need to find 2 other people, that's fine. The game takes 4 people to do everything in, just because it requires 4 people to be able to earn anything in the multiplayer. I think you can start private lobbies with, or rented servers with fewer people, but you still need 4 people for it to actually count. So, I mean, it's gonna be a bit of a ride, though, because there is a lot to do with the multiplayer in this game. Single-player stuff's not that bad, and the multiplayer for the base game isn't really a problem. 5 dog tag kills is just like melee kills that don't get countered. Win a round of each game mode, that's easy to boost nowadays, that's not a problem. 45 kills with the 1911, I think you have to unlock it first, which takes some time, but it's still not really difficult given you have to reach rank 25 anyway. And you have to deliver 5 bombs in the obliteration game mode, but you can boost all this stuff, so the base game multiplayer trophies are easy. It's the DLC that's 100% online trophies, so you have 4 relatively easy trophies here, and then all the assignments, and there are quite a few complicated assignments in this game. Second Assault does not have assignments, you just have to do 5 sort of miscellaneous trophies. This is going to be one of the easier ones to do overall, although that one's going to be a problem, so hopefully... Well, I guess you could do it with a helicopter. You don't need to do it with a plane, so that's actually fine, even though... Still remember Battlefield 3 had some of the worst helicopter controls I've ever seen in a video game. Naval Strike is... Okay, Naval Strike's another fairly easy one where you don't have to do any of the assignments. I think you only have to do one of the assignments to unlock one of the weapons or something, and that's it. So nothing too difficult there. So those 2 were probably the easiest 2. China Rising is annoying because of the assignments. Same thing for Dragon's Teeth, because it's got assignments, and then Final Stand also has assignments, because of course it does. Also, it's got a hidden... Why does it have a hidden trophy? Like, why is that... Okay, that's really stupid. The game has one random hidden trophy in the DLC. Does it even have any hidden trophies in the single player, or the base game, I mean? No, it does not. Okay, that's really weird and really random. Okay, anyway... Finally, I made progress in Overcooked All You Can Eat Edition. This is the port, well, not really port, this is just the combination of Overcooked 1 and 2 with all DLCs and a new DLC all combined. It's on both PS4 and PS5. I don't know if it has an auto pop feature, but I don't really care if it doesn't, because I love this franchise and I'll be more than happy to support them and play their games because they're so much fun to play. I mean, this game helped me get through a lot of the COVID stuff with me and Blair playing it and stuff, even though it was originally on a second account. So anyway, for the Platinum Trophy, it's actually not very difficult because you barely have to 3-star anything this time around. So you have to complete the games, you have to discover all locations and levels, which is pretty much unmissable while beating the games. The Peckening Rises is a new DLC campaign, so that's going to be, or not really DLC, but just a new, like, extra campaign. So very excited to play that. You have to complete, that's going to be a natural trophy that you don't have to worry about. Throwing ingredients into the cooking pot you can't do until Overcooked 2. Win in versus mode is very easy. Extra trimming worlds are the DLC worlds, so just finish one of them. Complete the tutorials, nothing difficult there. And now we get to some trophies that I've actually earned. 5 tickets in under 30 seconds in classic mode. There's a number of levels where you can do this. The ones where there's, like, it's actually very easy to do in the tutorial because you can just chop a whole bunch of lettuce and tomatoes because it's only those 2 different recipe items. So if you don't get this one there, or if you don't get this one naturally, just do it there. Complete a level by doing all of the recipes in order is probably going to come naturally for most players. Don't have that one done yet. Extinguish a burning kitchen. I mean, that's very simple. Wait till a kitchen catches on fire and put the fire out. You're probably going to get this one naturally. You have to complete a kitchen in the Munch Mansion, which is World 4 of the first game. I believe this is World 6 of the first game. Then these are in the second game. Then you have just a bunch of other, miscellaneous trophies and stuff. You have to keep a finished meal 30 seconds before serving it. You're probably going to end up getting this one naturally at some point. It looks like, 90% of people do. You have to finish 15 versus mode games, which is fine because versus mode is a lot better than arcade mode. Then a lot of, crap, there's an arcade mode trophy. There's no point of the arcade mode trophies. But then in this game, there are also a bunch of multiplayer trophies that aren't just arcade and versus. You also have to do, there's a lot that are 4 players. So, like, for this one, you need to have 4 players. You don't need 4 controllers, though. You can do it with 2 if you split the controllers. Or you can do it with 4 controllers if you really want. Save an ingredient from burning at the last possible second. Surprised I don't have that one yet. So, yeah, 4 chefs in glasses. 4 bear chefs. Now, this one might be one of the tougher trophies in the game because you have to get 3 stars in a level where all the players are playing as the box chef. So you have to have 4 players and you still have to get 3 stars in the level. So that one might be a little bit tougher just because of the way that works. Because that's going to give you a much higher score requirement. So that one might be just a little bit tougher. For reptile chefs, a specific level with 3 specific chefs. For alien chefs, which is, that's kind of a funny trophy. And then, another one with all 4 players. 3 being the same chef with another one. So yeah, there's a bunch of weird trophies like that. Attempt to throw something in Overcooked by hitting square while holding an ingredient. And, of course, pet the Kevin, and then pet the Kevin again in Overcooked 2. So it's an easy Platinum trophy. It takes 15 to 20 hours, and it's very fun, but it's weird that it has so many multiplayer trophies. I still don't really understand that choice. So, sync them up. Level 731, 97%, 20,776 total trophies, 521 platinums, 3,097 golds, 5,592 silvers, 11,566 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week and near future. So right now the plan is to work primarily on Battlefield 4 as well as Overcooked for this coming week. Those are going to be my main 2, probably an easy platinum in there somewhere. Maybe go back to The Division because I found another group that I'm going to try to work with. I really just need to study how to play the mode if I want to have a good chance of beating it. So those are kind of my objectives for July and August. And if I somehow have time in August, I might start on Black Ops 3, or that might get pushed back. Because currently I've got it written for August, but it'll probably get pushed back. So consider all these to get pushed back by a month. So September, which will end up being October, go back to GTA 5 and maybe The Division 2, but I'm kind of hesitant because I've heard a lot of people say that it is kind of tougher and not really all that fun to do all the DLCs in, because the Platinum's not really that hard. It's mostly the DLCs. And it's really only like 3 of the DLCs that are a little bit tougher. Then you have in October, which would be November, Outer Worlds and Borderlands 3. if I ever get the season pass for a reasonable price, that is. November, go back to Call of Duty Classic. Maybe I can knock that out fairly quickly. And finally, in December, go back to Shadow of the Colossus, the remaining Uncharted 3 trophies, and Conan Exiles first DLC. I mean, all that sort of depends on which ones go on sale, but there shouldn't be any worries about server closures, because Battlefield 4 is not going to close down, at least on PS4, so that's nothing to worry about. Battlefield 5 is obviously not going to close down. Black Ops 3 is obviously not going to close down. GTA 5 on the PS4 is obviously not going to close down. The Division 2, I don't know, but sort of whatever. And the Division 1, I guess, is the only one that's a little bit questionable because it is an older game, and there's supposed to be an announcement of a new Tom Clancy game soon, from what I've heard. So we'll have to see about that. That's why it's still high on my priority list. But otherwise, I plan to be working on Overcooked and Battlefield 4 this week, provided we can get a partner for it. So yeah, that's the plans for this upcoming week. And as for streaming and stuff, I think that I'll be streaming both Friday and Saturday night this week. I ended up, me and my girlfriend went to go see a movie on Friday. First time I've been to the movie theater since before COVID, so it's been a ridiculous amount of time. So hopefully this coming week, I will be able to stream both Friday and Saturday. Obviously, we're done with Fallout 4 for now, so it'll probably be, it may be a challenge run, or it may be just a casual playthrough of Resident Evil 4. That's the other thing I kind of want to do at some point in the near future. As for uploads this week, I'm sorry I didn't get out an Aruba vlog this past week. I was just really busy with stuff and didn't get time to have it edited. But I do have a challenge run video that has been edited down and is ready for upload, and I will have an Aruba vlog video up this week as well. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, and ring the bell if you haven't already, and I will see you later this week for more content.